to the start of the new school year, there are many things our school district is planning. One important thing above all else is the health and safety of all our students and staff. Our plan is built on multi-layered strategies organized around the guidance from the Connecticut Department of Education, the Connecticut Department of Public Health, and the CDC to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. We will also be in close contact with our partners at the North Central Health District. Masks are the most important part of our return to school. Students and staff will be required to wear a mask. They will not be permitted on the bus without a mask. If you do not have one will be provided for you. Teachers and staff will provide opportunities for our students to take mask breaks during the day. We are asking all families to screen for COVID symptoms prior to each school day. Please do not send your child to school if they are not feeling well.
I'm here today to talk to you about 3 safety precautions that we're putting in place during this pandemic. The first one is mask wearing. As you know, everyone is required to wear a mask. This is what mine looks like, but that's not necessarily what yours looks like. Yours could be similar, but I want to show you first how to properly wear it. Notice that my nose and my mouth are covered. That is how you need to wear your mask. This is not appropriate because my nose is sticking out. So even when you get on the school buses in the morning, you need to have your mask on at all times. Don't panic because there are several mask breaks in the day planned for you, at least 2 per building. The second thing that I wanted to discuss with you is proper hand washing. These signs will be hung by sinks and in all of the bathrooms throughout the district, just to remind you of proper hand washing techniques. And remember, when you go to wash your hands after using the bathroom or before eating, you should always wet them first. Then apply the soap and scrub really hard. Sometimes you can sing the alphabet or recite a little poem for 20 to 30 seconds to really get those germs off. Then after rinsing your hands, always dry them. That removes the excess germs. The last thing I want to talk to you about is using our sanitation stations. They look like this and they're spread throughout all of our buildings. Use the hand sanitizer before you go into a room, after you come out of a room. They're there for you, and the more you use it, the safer we're going to be.
Masks must be worn by all students on the bus. Each school bus will have a supply of disposable masks for students in need of one. When students are moving through the aisle of the bus, they should keep their hands to their sides to avoid touching other students' seats. Non-family members will be spaced 6 feet apart using a system of alternating diagonal seating. Students will not be permitted to change seats during the route. The bus monitor or a school staff member will assist students as they board or exit the bus. Once students exit the bus at the school, they will proceed into the building, maintaining social distancing protocols. Students will use hand sanitizer as they enter the building. Student desks will be placed 6 feet apart to the greatest extent possible in each classroom. Desk shields will be used as needed. Desks will be arranged in a forward-facing direction to permit maximum engagement and interaction for classroom instruction. Teacher desks or tables will be placed 6 feet from student desks. When a teacher is providing individualized instruction, a table shield will be placed between the staff member and the student.
Today we're going to walk you through some of the classroom cleaning protocols, but as you can see, we are in a typical high school classroom, and we have removed half of the desks in the classroom so that we can meet all of our social distancing guidelines. When you enter the classroom, you will see classroom setup such as this.
When you enter the classroom, the teacher will have already used disinfectant spray on the desk like this to make sure that any germs or anything is taken off the desk. Your role is when you enter the classroom to take one paper towel out of a box such as this and wipe down the desk. Once you're done wiping it down, you discard the paper towel in the trash can and return to your assigned seat.
It will be important to make sure you're listening to the teacher with specific protocols around how the classroom will run.
As we return to school, students in grades K through 5 will be separated into cohorts as a strategy to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. Cohort A consists of last names starting with A through L, and Cohort B consists of last names starting with M through Z. Students will remain in their classroom cohort with specialist teachers providing instruction in the classroom, with the exception of physical education when possible. Students will receive 2 days of instruction according to their cohort and will assess reteaching materials, guided practice, independent practice, and supplemental or enrichment materials on those days of remote learning. Students in our half-day pre-K session will attend 4 days in-person classes and will remain in their cohort. Students in grades 6 through 8 will cohort by grade level and will transition to different classes. Cross-grade level teachers will have separate rooms dedicated to that grade level. And students in grades 9 through 12 will follow an 8-period day. The hybrid model will allow social distancing to be achieved in the classrooms. Students not in a cohort model will be expected to participate through a classroom live streamed on Google Meet.
Students in grades pre-K through 5 will have recess time. Shared playground equipment will no longer be used. Classes will have designated equipment that will be sanitized after each use. Students will wash hands or use hand sanitizer after recess and before returning to the classroom.
Twice daily, our custodial staff will be cleaning and disinfecting our restrooms throughout the school district. Throughout the course of the day, the custodians will also be going in and out of the restrooms to do spot checks, especially on the high-touch surface areas such as door handles, flush handles, sink areas, mirrors. The way we will accomplish this and to know that the cleaning is being done properly is we'll be logging every time the custodial staff goes into a restroom, whether it's a staff restroom, a visitor's restroom, or the student's restroom. They'll be logged on a log which will be posted outside of each restroom. The bathroom doors will also be ajar on any restroom that we can to cut down or alleviate high-touch areas. Inside the bathrooms, will be cleaned twice a day, disinfected and cleaned, from ceiling to floor, then floor to ceiling, from back of the bathroom to the front of the bathroom, and once all occupants are outside of the building. This will be at every school and every office bathroom throughout the district. Precautions have been put in place, such as barriers in between urinals, barriers in the stalls, and if the barriers are within a social distancing distance, the barriers will be taped off. The doors will be taped off. Sinks will be utilized, but only if social distancing applies, such as the multi-use sink, where we will have one operating on one side so we can have 6 foot of distance to the other sink in case there's multiple students inside the bathroom. We also will be utilizing touch-free hand sanitizers and soap dispensers, touch-free paper towel dispensers at all of our locations. Mirrors will be cleaned constantly, and any touch surfaces, once again, will be cleaned on a regular basis throughout the course of the day. Throughout the school district, our water fountains are going to be replaced through the generous donations of our PTO with bottle fill stations. Our ventilation system and our cooling system, as well as our heating system, throughout the district, in all our schools and our buildings, will be operated, flushed 2 hours prior to school opening, and we will flush the building 2 hours after the school closes, after the last person leaves the building. Air filters in the systems, our HVAC systems will be upgraded, as they are currently being upgraded, as well as all our exhaust systems throughout the district will be running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We'll be including as much fresh air as possible throughout the day, throughout the evening in the building, when the weather permits.
As for moving throughout the school buildings, designated patterns of directional foot traffic will be clearly labeled on the floors. This is to maximize distance between students as well as to minimize face-to-face contact. We will also be looking to minimize the number of students in the hallways during transition times.
As you can see, Mr. Kinnell and I are in the academic wing of Stafford High School, and we just want to point out a few things for you. You will see throughout the building there will be hand sanitizer dispensers. We encourage you to use them as frequently as necessary. They will be in every hallway outside of many classrooms. You'll also see that we have our lockers that we normally use over the course of the school year. We will not be using lockers to start the school year. That means that you will need to make sure that your backpacks are packed correctly so they are not too heavy. Please make sure you're only bringing the basic utensils you need for each classroom: notebook, pens, paper, etc. Everything else will be done virtually.
There will be arrows pointing in the direction that each hallway is going. The main academic hallway at the high school will be heading down the hallway like so. In some hallways, there will be dual-way traversal. In that case, there will be places within the hallway, in the center of the hallway, that will be omitted. There will be no-fly zones for any students trying to walk. So they will be maintaining social distancing while in the hallway.
In years past at the high school, the morning has been an opportunity to stretch your legs and do laps. We're no longer going to be able to do so. Once you enter the building at 7:20, we will ask you to go directly to your first period class unless you're getting breakfast. You're only allowed in the breakfast area, the cafeteria, or your first period class, and that is done to limit gathering within the hallway. And we really appreciate your support in making sure that happens.
We have made preparations. If students develop symptoms during the day, we will include moving students to a designated isolation room. Students will wait in the isolation room with a designated staff member until they can be picked up. It will be very important for parents to make sure your child's school has updated the contact information in case we have to contact you during the day. Please take care and stay well.